Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Okay, now here, this is what I call peak leftist hypocrisy. You know, these leftoids are always going on and on about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Hashtag diversity is our strength, right? They're always espousing this virtue of tolerance, everybody is welcome. But of course, what do they really mean by that? What they really mean is acceptance, inclusion, and tolerance only for those who join the cult, only for the people who fall directly in line with our specific ideology. Everybody else, of course, yeah, well, I guess you're not invited to the DEI tolerance party now, are you? Holy frickin' moly. Leftist inclusion is once again on full display, except it's not inclusion at all. No, it's exclusion. The global left once again proves that they are essentially the exact opposite of what they espouse. The woke left has taken over the Olympics at Paris 2024, and it pretty much proves everything we've been saying. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, I'm sure you guys have seen it. I'm not going to be playing any of the clips from the Olympics opening ceremony, very simply because the Olympics organization is going around issuing false copyright strikes on Twitter and YouTube users in their desperate attempt to silence critics. But do I really even need to play the clip, as if you guys haven't already seen it? Obviously, I think at this point you have to be living under a rock in order to not know what's going on. Essentially, the Olympics opening ceremony was a complete woke clown show. Maybe I'll put some pictures on the screen of the absolute worst parts. That way it can add some context to what I'm talking about. But holy frickin' moly, what in the world did I watch? Nothing says national pride, athleticism, competition like a drag queen performance. Unironically, that's exactly what it was. For those of you guys who haven't seen the clip, I urge you go and watch it because I'm not exaggerating, I'm not lying. That's exactly what it was. And of course, what was the reasoning behind it all? Well, we know exactly what it is, and it's kind of related to the intro of the video: diversity, equity, and inclusion. This individual right here on the screen was the director in charge of this interesting Parisian performance, an individual by the name of Thomas Jolly, and there's a video currently circulating where he explains his inspiration for the Olympics opening ceremony, and yep, it's pretty much exactly what you'd expect from a leftist bot. We'll go through frame by frame. Like I said, I'm not playing any videos here, so we'll go through frame by frame and read the subtitles at the bottom of the screen. He says, "How do you write a show in which everybody, at one point, feels represented and part of this bigger thing, this bigger us? For an artist, it's a beautiful responsibility to have. It's ambitious but also complex because one has to broaden one's own imagery." Just empty, vapid words. One's own outlook and include everyone. Understand everyone so that no one feels left behind. Alright, sure, so represent everyone. Everyone wants to feel welcomed and represented. That was the ambition behind this opening ceremony. Except, those are just buzzwords. That's just what these leftist activists say on the surface, but then of course their actions depict a completely different set of ideology or ideas. They wanted everybody to feel accepted. I guess except for Christians, right? You probably saw this picture all over the internet. At one point, as this Thomas Jolly person is talking about the imagery that he was conveying, they depicted an image of the Last Supper, a classic painting by Leonardo da Vinci that depicts Jesus and his apostles in Jerusalem enjoying the Last Supper before his crucifixion. It's a beautiful classic Christian rendition, and what did Mr. Thomas Jolly do? Well, a completely blasphemous act, mocking every Christian on the planet, the religion that's at the core of Western civilization, the religion that set forth the modern world, instilled values in the masses that we still abide by today. Yeah, total mockery of that religion. Now, I'm sure you get the point that I'm trying to make here. This is what leftists mean when they talk about diversity. Diversity to them means you're either with us or you're the enemy. A complete bastardization of the definition at hand. The collective cultural left once again proves in its attempt to be edgy and cool and artistic that they're essentially full of it. Their version of diversity obviously doesn't include Christians. I mean, they say they want to include everybody, but clearly the intention here was exclusion. It was mockery, attack. Essentially, it was a declaration that if you are of a faith that they don't agree with, then you're the enemy. That's what I gathered, at least. Now, of course, leftoids are going to pretend, no, of course not. That's not what we meant. But it doesn't matter what you meant, because what's perceived is pretty damn clear to me. What an absolute disgrace this opening ceremony was. What we are witnessing is a total cultural takeover. The intent is to erase the past and write a new history, to take us in a complete new degenerate direction. What was on display was nothing but debauchery, lust, and of course a little sprinkle of religious bigotry. Coming from the people who are always going on and on about bigotry, once again they prove they're the biggest bigots. What was on display the other night, in my view, is totally unacceptable. Now, I'm not going to argue for censorship or that you shouldn't be allowed to create these kinds of artistic displays. No, express whatever you want to express, but allow us to express our disgust. And really, that's the word. Disgust. Disgusting. I don't know what this clown world is coming to. You know, I grew up watching the Olympics, the freaking Olympic ceremonies. Usually, they're grand displays of patriotism and cultural history. But this year, what did we get? What were the children subjected to? Dancing drag queens, a naked Smurf, and a literal ball sack. I mean, it's totally unbelievable. Some of you guys might be confused by what I'm saying with the whole ball sack thing, but just Google it and you'll have your mind blown. You'll be saying the exact same thing as me. I mean, it's totally unacceptable. It's reprehensible. And I also found the whole thing cringe and cowardly. The left once again proves its cowardice. They're totally willing to attack and mock Christianity openly on this massive forum, but could you ever imagine them doing the same thing targeting the Muslim faith? It would never happen. The global cultural left's values were on full display. Values rooted in hypocrisy, hatred, bigotry, frankly, degeneracy, no care for our kids, no care for the innocence of our children. And these are the people who lecture us about all these very same things. It is the highest level of hypocrisy, and now I guess there's no denying it. You know, you'll often hear Christians say that they feel persecuted, that they feel as though their religion is under attack, and the left will say, you're crazy, you have some sort of victim complex. Well, I guess there's more merit to those claims these days. And of course, you'll also hear right-wingers voicing their frustration with clearly adult acts, inappropriate adult behavior being pushed on young children, and the left will tell you, no, that's not happening, you're crazy, you're a bigot. Well, it just happened at the Olympic ceremony. I think that's pretty much undeniable. Adult-themed dancing by drag queens, naked Smurfs, ball sacks during the friggin' Olympic opening ceremony. I guess the left can no longer play their games of denial. Now can they? It was on display for the entire world to see. And of course, the left will defend it to the death, but it's pretty clear that what happened was objectively wrong. Otherwise, there wouldn't be this kind of backlash, and the Olympics probably wouldn't have deleted their opening ceremony highlights from YouTube. As you can see on screen, that's exactly what they did. And of course, they probably wouldn't be issuing fake DMCA takedowns, targeting social media users who are voicing their frustration and criticisms. The cultural left once again shows its true colors, and of course, we're not shocked at all by this colorful display, now are we? It's really kind of a drag. I was getting excited to watch the Olympics. At one point earlier this year, I was even thinking of traveling to Paris to go see the Olympics, but I guess the Olympics goes straight into the Bud Light bin. What an utter frickin' disaster. Frankly, the Olympics and the entire country of France should be absolutely ashamed of themselves after this ridiculous display. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.